This is an update to a previous video where I showed you how to disassemble, assemble and clean the airbrush thoroughly. After damaging a couple of needles, I've decided to clean the airbrush using the method of pulling the needle out of the front. Just want to throw out there that I'm not trained in airbrush at all, but I've found my way through it just by using the airbrush for some time now on bridal work. I push my needle back inside the airbrush just to protect it from damage, so that's why you can't see the needle here. I'm going to unscrew the handle. I'm using a towel underneath to stop the parts from moving around. Then unscrewing the needle cap or the needle lock. I'm just unscrewing it slightly, pulling the needle back a little bit to avoid taking it off completely or breaking it when I unscrew the caps in the front there, but not pulling it back so far as to get the cup holder. Screw the cap back up. Mine fell out. I should have tightened it up. Then I'm going to remove the front caps. You'll have one or two depending on the model that you have. Be very careful and meticulous about taking this off, just in case the tip of the needle's poking out. If you take it off, you could snap off the tip there. That will reveal the nozzle. I'm going to use the spanner that comes with my airbrush to just untighten, I guess, or loosen the lock there and then unscrew it. This is a really tiny piece, so you want to make sure that you put that in a safe place. Then I'm going to push the needle from the back through the front there. And when it comes out, you'll see that you know, don't touch the tip of the needle, but you'll see how much dirty it is there. You can see all that product there just at the tip, and that, if left on there, can erode that needle and really cause some problems. So I'm going to pop that safely to the side. Then unscrew all the other parts within the airbrush, which I didn't do before. I didn't do this last time. So just taking that inner part out. I'm not sure what the part is called. Then take out the thread and take out that lever there. That's got a little funny bit, so you have to wiggle it out. And then that's a button that just pops right out. And that's the airbrush disassembled. So then I'm using the lubricant and the alcohol that's mixed together in that bottle and just pouring that on top of the parts and cleaning through with a clean tissue. Then using these brush kits, these are several brushes on a kind of key ring, just using that to clean internally. And just inspecting there to make sure all of the product is out. And pop that off to the side, then taking the top. Now this is a clean part, it's got no product on it, but I'm still going to flush it through just because it's got the lubricant within the cleanser, and that will just oil all the parts. So just one by one, meticulously cleaning all the parts and oiling them. And then setting them off to the side. Always checking as I go along to make sure that there are no parts that are still stuck there. I don't expect that part there to be dirty, but still good to have a bit of oil on it. So those brushes and the spikes that you see are used to help clean the airbrush, and I got them off the internet, I think off of eBay, for just I don't know, £3 or £4 each set. So they're really good for the airbrush. I always get a little bit of product on the cap there, on the handle, so just cleaning that through. You can use cotton buds on some of the parts, but where you do, always flush through afterwards, because lint can be left behind. So on the main cup, I've put through some product, let it run through, and then using the brush to just work it right through to the middle and clean through. Where I've got stubborn product that's staying in there, I'm going to use the spike just to push it through the needle and just give it a good whirl round, and you can use all the different sizes to get through there. And then I'm using cotton bud because nothing else will clean that internal part that's right at the very bottom. The needle nozzle area there, run the spike through the top, which I've already done off camera. Again, I forgot to press the camera record button, and then I used a cotton bud to clean around the edges. Then I'm going to flush through again and clean through meticulously. This is the part where things can get stuck and stop the airbrush working properly. So I'm really going to be clean around this area. Take off all the product. A lot of foundation gets stuck around there. And then at the very end, I'm using the product to flush through and take off any lint. Again, just in case there's any lint gone through, I'm putting some product through the cup and out the front again and letting that drop through. This piece I cleaned off camera, again, forgot to press the button, but I run product through it, and then I cleaned with a cotton bud, and then I flushed it through again. I've also done the needle, put some product on the needle and on the tissue, and then just taken it through very carefully, twisting the needle, and then at the end just pulling it through, and you can see the product on the tissue. There was loads on there. So when you put the brush back together, check that everything's moving properly. That button isn't working, it's not pushing back. Now it is. So you might have to take it off and put it through, and then just assemble as you did take it off, as you did when you took it off rather. I always do the back bit first. Obviously you want to make sure that that part's working, and then pop the needle through the front, back to front, obviously protecting the front of the needle, and obviously the needle should be in the front, the sharp bit in the front. These needles can cut your skin, they're really super sharp. So you can see the needle sticking out there. You want to push it back but avoid the cup area, so I'm just going to pop it through the front there and then pop the nozzle through. Twist it around. It's really tricky, this fell through my hands a few times, and then tighten it with a spanner again. Be gentle. I have actually ruined mine and had to have a second part because I pushed it too far. Then pop the caps on one by one. And then put the needle lock on, tighten that. Just checking that the brush is through there, and then pop the handle on. You can see I left a bit of product in the cup. I didn't see that till the very end, and I cleaned it properly. And that's the airbrush cleaned. Pull back the needle if you need to, if you're not going to use it straight away, if you're going to store it. But that's the tutorial done. I hope you found it useful, and any tips, please do advise me.